Hello everyone, it's Frozenhelm, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2. Those of you that tuned into the last stream might wonder, why is this called episode 10? Well, I was not proud of the last stream. It's been about 3 hours. I was not proud of that. I was not in the right mental state, and that's not how I want to that's not the kind of episode I want to put in a Let's Play. So, what I ended up realizing was that I was woefully underprepared for this fight. So, what I ended up doing was I ended up going to, where's the bonfire? I ended up going to Forest Fallen Giants, the place unbeknownst, and if you see that little number there, I used 4 bonfire aesthetics on this thing. And it turns out that people say that this is the best bonfire aesthetic spot to grind souls, and for good reason, because the Giant Lord gives you like 200,000 per run, which is completely absurd. So, I knew it was the best grinding spot, but this is ridiculous. So, I ended up just going there, grinding out a little bit. I also used a soul vessel to respec my attributes a little bit. So, I ended up pushing my vigor to 50 and adaptability to 37. I wanted to put it further, but then I realized that since AGL, the stat you see down there, relies on breakpoints for iframes, the next breakpoint is 111. I'm at 109, but after you get here, it is steeply diminishing returns, and I need like 8 points in adaptability to get like to 110. So 111 would be like, your ADP would need to be like 48 or something, which I didn't see as worth, at least not until my endurance or vitality or something is a bit higher. So I ended up pushing the points into endurance instead. But yeah, I have 50 vigor now, so my health is like 400 more than before. And I have, I think, a few more iframes, or like 1 more iframe or something, just because of how breakpoints work in this game. But I ended up taking some points off of Dex because I realized I put a little bit too much in the Dex actually. So I took a bit off of that and I put in the, well, first vigor and then endurance. So I think my weaponry for the fight is going to be largely unchanged, but hopefully now I'm not dying in like 2 mistakes to these guys, and hopefully it will be a lot less tilting knowing that I'm not dying in 2 hits. So let's go to Dragon Lake Castle and actually, for real this time, finish this game. Okay. After this, I need to show you guys this grinding spot because it is dumb. You kill this guy and I just need to show you the amount of souls you get, because it is just hilarious. I saw this, I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this like this? Why is it so much souls for killing this one guy? And you also get souls from all the giants that die in the cutscene, which is hilarious. You get like 50,000 just for all the giants dying. It's like the dragon in Dark Souls 1, where it incinerates all the hollows and you get souls for that. It's the same thing. Except it's so many more souls than Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 you get like 1,000 or something. Here you get like 50,000 just from watching them die. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's check my equipment. I don't really need souls anymore because I have a, because I have a grinding spot now, so I don't really need this. Okay. How did I miss? Ow. Oh, come on. Ah. Dang it. I knew she was gonna do that, but I just couldn't do much about it. God damn it. Why did I attack? That was a dumb idea. How did I miss? What? Okay, dude, I don't know how that missed, but alright. He's coming? Okay. Eh? Frick. I thought you were gonna... It is such an endurance match. You get like one hit at a time. Like you really just have to wait for your chance. For all of these. No, don't attack yet. Go ahead. Okay. Damn, I missed. That was the wrong way. Unfortunately, he didn't follow up. Ow. Ah. Ow. Ow. I thought there was an attack there. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done two. Get away from me. Go away, go away, go away, go away. I think this is fine. Okay. What? That was funny. We just attacked like right beside each other. No. No. Eh. That did nothing. Oh god. God dang. Ow. Ow. Holy jeez. God, no! I didn't get underneath the defender's sword like I hoped. Oh well. I tried to get underneath the defender's sword. I think I wasn't that far enough to the right. Oh well. I love how you hear the zzzz from the freaking electrified sword the whole time. Until the loading screen pops up, you just hear zzzz. Freeman, did you know that like all of my viewers are bots except you and Quint? Like literally like almost all my viewers are just bots. Or they're lurkers and they don't comment, but like pretty much every like if I get like 18 views, chances are like 16 of them are just bots. It's funny. There was one Dark Souls 2 stream I got when I had like 30 something viewers. I was originally like real stoked. But then I realized, wait a minute, this is YouTube we're talking about. Probably like, if I had 30 viewers, probably 27 of them are bots. Classic YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Freeman, were you here for the last stream? I don't think you were. You probably would have been in chat if you were. Why is someone showing off their freaking muffler? Yeah. God damn. The second she jumps back like that, I think she's doing a thing. Ow. I was rolling around all over the place. I spent this whole day sleeping. Mood. You're so beautiful for that. Nah, man, I spend multiple days sleeping. I feel that so hard. Oh god. Do not rush forward. Thank you. I did not go the right side of you. Since when did you jump back like that? What? Oh, come on. Damn it. Damn, really? Both of those hit me? Come on. Damn it. Oh no. Oh no. That attack right there does so much damage. It does so much. Uh-oh. He has electric sword too? Oh no. None. I didn't see this before because normally I down the watcher first. Oh. Oh frick. Oh frick. He's just running. Oh my god. He just runs. Look at him. Look fast. Look how much faster he is. Holy frick. Ow. Ah! Oh god. Ow. Holy crap. Thankfully it goes away after a while. Oh my god. Jesus. He didn't do that attack before. Why is he standing like a freaking, what's it called? There's one class in this one game, I don't remember. In Unicorn Overlord, there's a class that's literally that pose. Oh my god. He's a stab attack. He's horrifying. I mean, look at him. He is. And he just rushes towards you. Initially, he was like really slow. Now he's like, I'm gonna beat you to death. What was that? See, in the previous in the previous episode, which I've since deleted, but in the previous episode, I found out the hard way that if you kill one of them and leave the other one alive, they can revive each other to full health. So you have to kill both of them within a pretty short time frame, because they can revive each other with full health, which is such bullshit. But I mean, to be fair, it is the final boss gauntlet, so they are going to pull something like this. Yeah, I figured that out the hard way. I figured, like, I thought it was like, oh, this is another Ornstein Smoke situation, just kill the Watcher and the Defender's easy pickings, right? But no. It is very much not that. Ow. Ow. Holy crap, man, look at this damage. Not what I meant. I meant to attack, not roll. I don't know why I rolled O. And that time I attacked when I meant to roll. Oh my god. I'm really pressing the wrong buttons here. Come on. Ow. Ow. Oh no. Oh, oops. Yeah, I spent far longer than I care to admit just throwing my head against the wall trying to do this with my old stats, and I kind of just had to give in and boost my vigor to 50. Wow. How did you miss? He was 3 feet in front of you. I thought he was attacking, he wasn't. I thought I was gonna hit that, I didn't. Oh, come on, I thought I pressed that. Ow. I probably shouldn't have hit him a little. Uh-oh. Oh no! I have run out of stamina, damn it. I ran out of stamina. I should have just ran away, actually. Look at him, he's on fire. You see that in the side there? These guys took fencing classes or something. Look at this. It legitimately, they took fencing classes, bro. Oh, come on, my freaking... My controller. No. My controller. Why do I have to tilt the freaking thing in a certain way? God damn it. Why do I need to tilt the controller in a certain way for my controller to charge, bro? What? Please let the thing charge, thank God. Why do I need to tilt the controller in a weird ass way to let my freaking controller charge, bro? Come on. Maybe I need to get a new freaking charging cable for this thing. A new PS4 charging cable probably costs like $10 million. Like everything does nowadays. Ow. Oh, I hit both of them in one swing. Cool. Every time the watcher dodges backward, I think she's going to do the freaking swipe attack. Like this, see? Then she has a horizontal spin after that, which does stupid damage, by the way. Completely ridiculous damage output with that, like, spin move. Damn it. Uh-oh. Ow. See, she has a spin move afterward. I need to be worried of that. Fucking really? That move right there. Well, that's one of them, but she has a second one. But this, like, that spin move does stupid damage. God damn it. Come on. There you go. Ow. Oh my god, that is so much damage. Okay, nice. So it's not electrified anymore. Dang it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, why do you do this much damage? Oh no. No. Stop. His attacks are like slower now, actually. Well, some of them are. Ow. I didn't even notice that. I was too focused on the defender. Oh my god. Can you just like shuffle around him? You probably can. Oh no. Oh, how did I not hit by that? Oh, he turns it back on? That's fine. The good thing is, actually, I just noticed this, he doesn't have a shield anymore. I don't know why I just noticed that. See that move right there? That does so much damage. Die. Like, you have your... Oh my god. No, I need to heal, like, right fucking now. Okay, wait. Now's the time. Oh god. Oh, come on. You need to do the second one. Ow. Oh, no, 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 no. Die. You were going to res. Nope. No, 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 no. No, not on my watch. Thank God. Oh, shit. Oh, please don't tell me it's another boss right after this. Oh, please don't. Oh, God, hi. Hi? Ugh. Okay, I kind of, beautiful exterior, but grotesque demon underneath it is sort of a playbook for these kinds of games, but, look at the face. Oh. And of course she has dark magic. Oh. She just curses you. Okay, fair enough, I guess. And you take constant damage. Oh, great. Oh my god. Yeah, and you take constant damage while you're near her. Can you like kill these things? No? Yes? I don't know. I actually don't know if you can. That didn't even hit me. Wow. Can you like turn these? I don't know if you can. Ow! Oh my god. No 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 no. Laser. Oh, okay. I understand. Attack the goop things to dispel them. You attack them like one time. Otherwise, your health drains whenever you're... That must have been... Oh, no! No, 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 no. Oh, God, I only have one Estus left. I didn't even realize that. Why are you all the way out here? There you go. Holy frick. Uh-oh. That was way too close. Doesn't even reach. God dang it, I need to do this again. Oh, now she moves. Uh-oh. Get the hell out of here. That was easy.
Many monarchs have come and gone. One drowned in poison, another shot into flame. Still another slumbers in the realm of ice. Not one of them is still here. As you You, conqueror of adversities. Give us your answer.
Aldia, Scholar of the First Sin. I have no Estus. What the hell is happening here? What is this? I don't know what was going on. I had no Estus. I wasn't gonna do that. I hope that I don't have to fight Nashandra again. I really hope not. I don't think I do, but still. I hope I don't. I hope I don't have to fight Nashandra again. The fact I spent hours, like 2 hours on Throne Defender and Throne Watcher, but I first tried Nashandra. It just goes to show how pathetically easy Nashandra actually is. And I got her, little gimmick or whatever the first time around, and it's nowhere near as threatening. Like, what? What is that? But I mean, it's pretty decent. The fact that they use like curse against you and it's actually like, threatening rather than, oh, you just waiting binding her. It actually like drains your health, like. Oh my god. Does it home in on you? It probably does. Holy crap, that does a lot. Oh my god. Oh my god. That does so much. How do you dodge this move? Oh! I didn't even see that. I didn't see the edge of the arena. Okay. I didn't even see that. How do you dodge this move though? Do you just run? I'm trying to run to the side, but like, they just follow me. I am not. I know that I have like a grinding place now, but I don't want to lose 158,000 souls. That's like maybe like 2 more levels. I do not want to lose that, bro. Nuh-uh. I am not losing that. But yeah, I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, free man, that one place, the freaking memory of Jude or whatever it is, where you kill the giant lord. It's so dumb. Quint told me about it, and he was like, it's the best freaking grind spot in the game, and I'm like, okay, cool, so I did it. That's how I got my vigor to 50, and I literally did it in like 30 minutes. I thought it was gonna take hours. Nope. I literally did it in like 30 minutes, if that. It's so dumb. The fact that you get like 200,000 souls for being a piss easy boss, and it gives you a bonfire aesthetic every time, so you have no worries of running out. Okay, I'm just gonna like full blast, just run. Oh my god! Okay, dude. I'm worried about the freaking fire around him blowing. No! How do you avoid that? What? No, how do you avoid that? I don't understand. I thought you like hit him out of it or something. Or is it just don't get close to him? I don't know. God dang it. Yeah, I need to get a new freaking charging cable. Oh my god. I have to get a new charging cable. This thing is not it. This thing is not it. I have no idea where they like sell it though, and it's not USB. It's actually just I think it's actually just proprietary, which is so lame. I don't know. I may be wrong, but it seems proprietary to me. What the f... Oh, what? Okay. I'm just gonna get as far away from him as possible and just run left. Nice. Uh-oh. Ow, 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 ow! Oh, no! I thought I could roll now. I think you just run. But they homed in on you, so I thought like they homed in on you, so running wasn't an option. Maybe it is though, because rolling was just like unequivocally a worse option there. When I was in my attempts with the Throne Watcher and Defender, I kept calling them the Chandra and Aldia, but honestly, I feel like they're like the humanoid forms of the Chandra and Aldia before they turned into whatever this is. Ah, yeah, fair. What restaurant, by the way? I knew you said it was like a barbecue place, right? Like steak place. It must be really far away. You've been there since like 2:30. Cause like fair enough, I guess. I would do that. If I had a GF, I would do that. Oh man, that really hit me. Wow. Okay, let's move again. Come on, hit me. That was not the right one. Well, he hit me. That was not my best move. Not my best move. But Quint just did, so it's on the record. I probably he's not here anymore, but it's okay if you don't tune in live. We can schedule a time tomorrow. We can call and we'll go over it. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. I went to Costco today for the first time in this new apartment. Oh yeah, Freeman, I don't know if Quint told you, but I actually moved into a new apartment at the beginning of the month to facilitate my new job, finally. I am now employed with the state. Caltrans. So yeah, the State Department of Transportation as a assistant resident engineer. There's a lot of training involved because it's a state, it's a government position, right? So they have to train everyone, and I just lost 158,000 souls. I just realized that. Oh no, wait, maybe not. Okay, they're still here, good. Okay, there you go. Self-employed, I feel that. I was self-employed for like 6 months. I was self-employed with Lyft, and before that I was doing my EIT and in depression. Again with this, do I just run? Kind of? Okay, they just despawn after a while. Okay, I do just run with this. Cool. Alright, well now we know. Eh. 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 Wow. Okay, when the flames are up, don't hit him. Just don't hit him when the flames are up. He just gets massive armor. He gets massive armor when his flames are up. So just don't hit him. I thought I was doing damage to him. I'm not. When the flames are up, just don't hit him. This is just a long endurance match. I have to treat it like one. Again with this move. Just run, it should be okay. Nice. I'm just watching the size of the arena so I don't accidentally fall in. Nice. Oh, jeez. I might be able to just run that, but seeing as that one-shots me, I'm not taking any chances. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, this move. Damn it. Oh god. That was close. I nearly died to that. What the frick? Oh no. Here's even more burnification. Ow. Oh jeez. Okay, cool. Yeah, look at that. He burns even more. Frick. Ow, ow. Oh. A lot of damage, son. Stop burning. I don't want to know how much damage that deals when you're sitting inside there. Ow, that still hits me. Again with this. Yeah, it deals enough damage, bro. I am not testing that. Not the final boss. I am not testing that out. I could have probably hit him a third time, but yeah, whatever. I'm just like trying. I'm just being ludicrously careful not to fall off. Ow! Ow! I mean, at least the attacks are fairly interactive. I'll give him that. Oh god, wait. This might actually hit me, so I don't know. Oh, come on, man. I thought I was gonna kill him. Oh, he's right in my face. Die!
And remain here patiently. The throne will certainly receive you. But the question remains. Would you truly light, dark, or something else entirely?
So you either take the throne or walk away. Well, we saw what happened when someone usurped the throne, and we saw what happened with Vendrick when he got to the throne. All that happened was endless wars and suffering and people trying to take a position, and the conniving Nishandra and all of this. The throne brought nothing but pain and suffering for anyone that holds it, and by extension the people that they rule. And Gwyn also fell to that mistake. Yes, I linked the fire in Dark Souls 1, but in that game it's, the undead curse, it wasn't really as known about. We didn't really know as much about the undead curse as we do now, and the pain that it wreaks on people, we just kind of got lore glimpses of it in Dark Souls 1, and we kind of knew that Gwyn was, protecting the first flame, and undeads were trying to escape by becoming, by linking the fire and becoming the first linking the flame and such. Taking the throne means to accept to link the flame in the future. You basically become the new chosen undead, yeah. Which just repeats the cycle and doesn't solve anything. The lure of power just does not get you anywhere in this universe, really. In FromSoft, it's like, linking the throne. You got guided by the previous throne keeper, so what good does it do, really? You're guiding other undeads to their deaths. Think about it. If you're in Vendrick's position, you probably saw many, chosen undead warriors from, the things betwixt. Many undeads didn't even make it here. Even fewer, survived. You're willing to inflict all that pain on yourself, and seeing all of this, we saw how much damage taking the throne did. We lived through all the damage taking the throne did. We fought our way through the consequences of all the damage taking the throne did. So I think it's time we do something different. I think it's time this human did something different. I like that. I like that a lot. That cutscene, I like that a lot. That's, I think, a more satisfying cutscene than the end of Dark Souls 1. I really like that. It gives more, personality and gravitas to your choice. Dark Souls 1, I mean, yeah, I chose to leak the throne, but like all you got was and it was over, and you went back to the intro. Yeah, Aldia might have had a point. We played Dark Souls 2 in Miracles only. Yo, Freeman, I didn't even use magic once in the whole game. The whole game, I didn't never use any magic. What makes you think I'm going to use magic? Right, so I think it's time to give my thoughts on Dark Souls 2 as a whole, how it compares to Dark Souls 1. Right, so Dark Souls 2, overall, there are some gameplay aspects of this game. Let's just get the negatives out of the way. There are some gameplay aspects to this game that I think was kind of a step back from Dark Souls 1. Even after spending the whole game with it, first and foremost, I just don't like the hollowing system in this game. Clint tells me that Dark Souls 3 had a better hollowing system, but this game, I feel like the first impression of any game, but especially a Dark Souls game, is everything, because if they don't hook you from the outset, what makes you think you're going to spend the whole game going through hard as hell bosses if your core gameplay doesn't hook you from the outset? And I think just the core aspect of losing health when dying in a Dark Souls game is just baffling to me. I don't know how FromSoft thought that having this as your core mechanic for dying in a Dark Souls game, meaning people are going to see it very early on, and people are going to think, wait a minute, why am I losing health? And they're figuring out that they lose health when they die in a Dark Souls game. That's going to turn away a lot of people right away from playing your game. Just objectively, that is going to turn away a lot of people, I think. So I just don't see why they thought that this was a good idea to keep in their game. Like, why did they need to do this? I feel like the humanity system in Dark Souls 1 was way better. Yeah, you risked your liquid humanity on death, but it gave you better defense, it gave you item discovery. There was a risk reward to doing that. Here, it's just, yeah, you get to bring a binding very early on, but I don't know, it's just kind of a band-aid fix to this problem that they inflicted on themselves. But that's like the main gripe I have with this game. Other than that, it's not like, it's not like, that's like the only real, like, this is bad thing I have with this game. So now we've got that out of the way. The world, the locations, are they better than Dark Souls 1? Honestly, it depends on what kind of vibe you're looking for, I guess. I feel like Dark Souls 1, with its color palette, it's more like washed out just because of the system it was on. So it's, well, for lack of a better term, it was darker and like it was more bleak, sorta. It felt more like, even though we have areas like the gutters in this game and like castles and stuff, I feel like Dark Souls 1 felt more claustrophobic, especially in the early game. Even in even late game in areas like Tomb of the Giants, it felt really claustrophobic and closed in, and you step like 2 steps forward and you never know what's out here. I feel like Dark Souls 2 was more open areas. The colors they used are a bit brighter. And those two combined leave it feeling more open to exploration, which I think is a good thing. But you're going to have some people that favor one set of locations over the other, I feel. But yes, I can agree with Freeman in that Dark Souls 1 had better connections between levels. I feel like Dark Souls 1 Firelink Shrine was absolutely genius, especially for its time. The fact that everything in the world is interconnected to this one place, it really felt like a hub world. It really felt like you could traverse the whole thing, even without the fast travel. Yeah, getting fast travel in the beginning of this game rather than waiting halfway through the game to get into Dark Souls 1 is objectively just such a good thing. Please, like, that was so good. And 4 range slots also goes a really long way to help making this game more accessible. I can understand, I can agree with that. But I feel like, yes, Majora connects everything. Yes, that's true. But a inherent consequence of having fast travel open from the start is that this is the funny thing. By having fast travel in Dark Souls 1, by having fast travel open up only in the mid game, you are forcing the player to interact with your world. You are forcing the player to know where to go, to learn the connections of your world and traverse them. So by the time you get to fast travel, you appreciate the connections more. With Dark Souls 2, by having fast travel at the beginning of your game, you have less incentive to retrace your steps and know what goes where, because you can just go to any bonfire and fast travel, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just an inherent consequence of what they chose. There are some people that are still going to love the, traversing the world on foot. And I think that is up to the player to decide how to traverse, which I think is a good thing for any game. But yes, the first level choices, I do like that too. I mean, Dark Souls 1 did a similar thing with, choosing the order of the 4 souls, but it was kind of like, by the time you had that, it was mostly, you can do the 4 souls in any order thing, but here they did it right at the start, which is, I think, really cool. Except, like, Iron Keep. If you do Iron Keep the first soul and you have no idea what to expect, oh god. Oh no. I think Helm is going to love Elden Ring. I think so too. I think Elden Ring, when I get to it, is going to be great. But yeah, no one is doing Iron King first. With the Alarm Knights and everything, oh god. But I feel like this game, despite it being a sequel to Dark Souls 1, I think Dark Souls 1 still has a few things that will stand on their own merits. And even some people could warrant repeat playthroughs of Dark Souls 1. Even when playing, going back to Dark Souls 1 and replaying it, I can see some people doing that. Even after playing this game, with Dark Souls 3. I can see some people going back and replaying Dark Souls 1 for the novelty of it. But Dark Souls 2 is a lot better mechanically, I feel. I mean, apart from the hallway mechanic, but other than that, I feel like Dark Souls 2 is much better mechanically. Weapon system, yes, that's very, I agree. The weapon upgrade system is... Oh no! I'm so sorry. Oh no, she had it in her hands. I accidentally pressed the button. I accidentally pressed R2. Here, hold the discussion for a second. I need to talk to her. Oh yeah, Quinn, I didn't show you this. I had 50 vigor and 37 adaptability. I respec a little bit to decrease my dex. It was like 45. I decreased it to 40. I rescinded my levels in faith. This was at 9 because I think there was a weapon that needed 9 faith, but I didn't need it anymore because that weapon was like long gone. So I took it back and I put it all in the adaptability. Thing is, if you try to level adaptability from now here, if you try to see AGL, the thing is, it's like kind of a threshold system. So once you get specific values of AGL, you get more iframes, right? The next breakpoint for AGL is 111, but it is heavily thresholded after this point, so you need to get a lot of points in ADP to get 111 AGL, even though it's like really close, but the effect is heavily diminished. I think I need to get like 45 ADP to get 111 AGL. So I'm like, no, that's not really worth it. Let's just put it in endurance instead. At least it gives me more of a tangible benefit. Maybe I'll put it in vitality as well, just for the equivalent a little bit. But like for the heavier range and stuff like that. Because I think aren't we gonna get like the crowns or whatever in the DLC? So maybe I'll get vitality to get equivalent for that. But yes, I ended up doing the Giant Lord. That's what it's called. I ended up doing the Giant Lord bonfire. Let me show you. I did the Giant Lord bonfire. It's now up to bonfire intensity 5. So I did it 4 times, and it gives you like 200,000 souls each time. I know you told me it was good, but I didn't know it was that good. What the hell? I got like 5, 6, 7 levels every time. It was stupid, dude. Begin what? Oh. Is this like actual like New Game Plus? I see. I hope it gives you like a confirmation if you accidentally click that. Otherwise that would kind of suck. No, wait, not you. I want to buy... Where... There you are. I want to buy more Titanite chunks. Actually, you know what? Let me buy the Titanite slab. Titanite slab and... Actually, large Titanite shards. Because I'm gonna have to gatekeep that. Elden Ring, let's go! But yeah. Right. Anyway, let's continue. I'm gonna put the controller down for a second. Let's continue chatting about how Dark Souls 2 compared to Dark Souls 1. I'm gonna continue rambling about that. No, I didn't check out Black Steel Katana. This was enough. But yeah, let's continue with Dark Souls 2 compared to Dark Souls 1. The locations, the individual locations themselves. I only said with Dark Souls 1, it's like a bit more gritty and washed out compared to Dark Souls 2 just because of the colors they chose and the indoor locations. But there are a few standout locations in this game that I enjoy. Heights Tower of Flame, I think, is a pretty good introductory level. Forest of Fallen Giants is fairly good as well. I like how there's like a little underground section. You know, you go down the ladder and you go across the bridge to meet with the pursuer and stuff like that. That was cool. I'm only gonna talk about areas. I don't think I'm gonna go through them like individually like I did with Dark Souls 1. I think I'm just going to go through ones I remember and enjoy. Or you know what? There's literally a list of areas right here. So let's just go through them. I did this. Yeah, Heights Tower of Flame. Cathedral Blue. Oh yeah. Where we fought the Ornstein Dragon Rider guy. He was cool. I think that boss was pretty good, pretty nice introductory boss to humanoid enemies. No Man's Wharf. There are some things I like about this area. The atmosphere is pretty nice. I like the ship. The boss fight against the Flexile Sentry is pretty alright. I don't like the darkness and the fact that there's like these shadow guys, I think they are, and they just come out of there, and the fact you fall in the water is an instant death, and you know, but this area is okay. I like how you go on the ship and you get to Lost Bastille via the ship. That's cool. Notwithstanding the fact that I literally missed the pyromancy on the ship, so I had to use a bonfire aesthetic not only to get Lucatiel, but also to get the pyromancy that I missed in the chest. But Lost Bastille, I think, is one of my favorite areas in the game. What's it called? The Ruined Sentinels is a pretty good boss, even though I kind of cheesed it. But that's a pretty good boss, and I do like the kind of atmosphere of the Lost Bastille, and there's, you know, Steady Hand McDuff and stuff like that. Ryan McDuff. And I like how you can get into a little secret area as well. The tower apart, this thing, and there's like a few chests. And yeah, the Lost Sinner was a pretty good first Lord Soul as well. And plus you get Strayed, which, you know, boss weapons are never not cool. I just didn't use many of them in this playthrough. Sinner's Rise. Yeah, that Lost Sinner. Pretty good first Lord Soul. Not really much to know otherwise, because it's kind of the same vibe as the Lost Bastille. Huntsman's Copse. What was this area again? Bridge up. Excuse me. I need to get water. Be right back. My hiccups are acting up. I need to get water. Oh, there you go. Oh, the forest. Yeah. This was the forest place. Okay. This place was okay. Notice how we've gone through a bunch of areas already, and there hasn't been one that's been straight up bad. I think that just goes to show how this game has balanced out its areas better than Dark Souls 1. There's also a bonfire that I didn't find, apparently. Undead Purgatory. Was a secret area? I don't remember this one. But Harvest Valley I do remember. This was the place with all the poison. And we need to go in the mines and rescue that, you know, the Titanite shard girl from the thing, and the fact that the thing that I was epically failing chasing a Titanite lizard and dropping into a poison trap that just kills you. Other than that, the mines weren't really that eventful. But I also do remember that there was a section like... Actually, wait. Maybe it was up here. I think it was. Lower Central... Yeah, it was. So Earthen Peak was when you climb up the structure and... what was the boss of this? I don't remember the boss. But I remember you climb up this thing, you have to halt this windmill, and you fought those like scissor hands assassin guys that were really annoying. Like those guys are really annoying. Snake Girl? Yeah, no, I know, I remember Go Again, right, I remember the bladder guy. I remember the burning windmill and Gilligan. You had to burn the windmill to stop the poison or whatever. That was okay. That was cool. But anyway, it's okay. Iron Keep. I think this is a pretty good area. This one's pretty good. I mean, a long night's notwithstanding, but the Smelter Demon is one of my favorite bosses in the game. It really feels like a battle with, a fucking Smelter Demon whose very heat burns you alive when you just literally just stand near it. Its attacks are dangerous, but you can see them coming at least. And it really feels like a one-on-one duel. It really does feel like an Artorias-like fight. I'm gonna say Artorias-like for like any like duel that feels like you're in a battle of equal footing. Like back here, the Ornstein Knight was your first like tutorial Artorias-like fight. This one is like your first real. Actually, maybe not. You could argue that Pursuer is also an Artorias-like fight, and you fight him multiple times throughout the game. Each time it doesn't get much harder. It probably gets easier, but yeah, outside of the Law Knight, the rest of Iron Keep is actually pretty good. Shaded Woods. This place has a couple areas. Each one is, I think, different in how much I like it. The Shaded Ruins. This is where it's it's the bridge that you have to go across and go down this hole, and you have to talk to the lady that you eventually see in Brightstone Cove, Teldora, right? And there's like lions or whatever, right? Is that the one that's talking about? I think it is. That was a decent place, and then the Ruined Fork Road is where you access some of the late game, and there's this like fog forest that's really annoying. This is okay. It's not as good as the ruins, but this area is nothing to write home about, but it's a pretty decent place all around. See, all of these areas I don't hate. I don't hate like any of these. Like, not with, like, same can't be said for, like, Blighttown or Tomb of the Giants in Dark Souls 1. Those are areas which I actively despise. I'm like, what are they doing? Here, not really. So that just goes to show how much more balanced these areas are. Doors of Furrows. Nothing egregious here. I kind of like how, I mean, it makes sense that, Rat Covenant, sneaky guys, you kind of, want that to unlock all doors. But it's a pretty fairway area, yeah, nothing really to write home about, not really much reason to go here. Brightstone Cove, Seldora. The campsite is, nah. The chapel, I think, is pretty cool, though. The fact that you have to light a torch to keep the spiders away from you is, I think, a pretty cool concept. And the torch itself, like how you light it in this game, is a pretty decent concept mechanically. Like, you have to sacrifice your shield slot to light your torch, but you can actually keep it on, even when you attack. It's not like a weapon you have to hold in your right hand. So when you attack, like, you aren't like forced to attack with it. It just keeps being lit, I guess. And the fact that you can kind of bank time by getting, what's it called, flame butterflies, I think? Or like getting torches in the overworld banks time for your torch, and you light it at a bonfire and you just kind of take it with you, and you can light torches along the way so that you don't have to backtrack. I actually really like that concept. and I think it's done pretty well here. Notwithstanding the mage guys that sit on freaking ledges and they're really annoying. But the Duke's Deer Freya was pretty cool. I think it is my favorite Lord boss, soul boss, but I can agree with that. Duke's Deer Freya was a pretty good fight. Because the old Iron King was not that great. It's just a big giant that's just in lava. It reminds me a lot of, what's it called? Ceaseless Discharge. It reminds me a lot of Ceaseless Discharge, and that's not a good thing. It looks cool, but like, really, the fight's nothing mechanically to write home about. But yeah, Bright Stone Cove Saldor is, I think, an above average area, just for the chapel. Grave of Saints. Pretty filler, I'd say. Just rat cave, and you know, fight a bunch of rats. There's a boss, which is, I don't know. It was pretty filler to me. The Gutter, oh boy. Oh, and the Gulch, oh boy. I think the Gutter, I mean, okay, we're getting to that, but the Gutter and the Gulch, no, they're not that great. The Gutter, I can see what they're trying to go for, but you just cannot see shit in this area. It's not as bad as like Tomb of the Giants or anything, but you still cannot see much here, and you have to platform your way over, and you fall, you instantly die, and you have to wander, wibble wobble your way down while there's traps waiting for you down below, and like, then you get to the Gulch, which is also bad because there are required areas that you have to jump down unmarked cliffs to get to, and good luck seeing these without a guide. Good luck. How are you able to see these without a guide? There is no way. There is no way you are able to see these darn cliffs to walk down to get Luvatir's questline and the giant solo without a guide. Like, how are you supposed to know to look on down the right side to see this tiny cliff to jump down that, and how are you supposed to know it's anything important? Meanwhile, there's poison, freaking the stupid poison statues that shoot at you the whole time, tar hands and like tar faces that come out of the walls that can basically just insta kill you if they get the right attacks off on you. A hidden bonfire that's very easy to miss, but regardless is easier to get to the rotten without getting poisoned. Like, man, it's bad. But Rotten was pretty okay. Rotten was pretty alright. I think Rotten was, I think, the second best Lord Soul. Yeah, I think Rotten's the second best Lord Soul. The Duke's Deer Freya, Rotten, God, what's the last one? Lost Giant. Yeah, Duke's Deer Freya, Rotten, Lost Giant, Old Iron King, I think, would be my ranking for the four Lord Souls. Lost Sinner, sorry, not Last Giant, I'm stupid. Lost Sinner, yeah, no, even then, I would still put Lost Sinner fourth. I like the novelty of it, but like, I don't know, I kind of just wailed on the Lost Sinner, and it was like, it's not bad or anything, but I would still put Lost Sinner in third. It's not like bad, it's just worse than Rotten, and especially Duke's Deer Freya. Duke's Deer Freya was a pretty novel fight. I think it's very good. Then we get to Drang Lake Castle, which I think is, I'm looking at what's to come. Is this my favorite area in the game? Is it? Do I like this more than the Iron Keep? What is it with me liking castles in these two games? First it was Dark Souls 1 with Anor Londo. Now it's Dark Souls 2 with Lost Bastille, Iron Keep, and Dragon Lake Castle. They don't miss with castles in these. Really. But I think, is Dragon Lake Castle better than Lost Bastille? I don't know. It's pretty even, I'd say. Dragon Lake Castle, the underground areas are but like, it is pretty good atmosphere. And the central castle is pretty nice. I do like that. And the walk up to it is, it's great. The walk up to this thing, you walk up to, the front door or whatever, that is great, man. I really like the atmosphere, the moonlight as you walk up to it for the first time. Man, it is so good. And you walk across the tops of it to reach the what's it called, the Protector? I don't remember. Whatever it's called. The one segment where you meet Nashandra for the first time. Yeah, where you fight the pyromancers, the gargoyles. You go across the top and you find this one stupid bonfire that no one else is going to fight. Dragon Riders, that's it. Yes, right, Dragon Riders. That segment is really, really good. That might be my favorite set piece in the whole game. It's a really good set piece. That might be my favorite set piece in the game. Then we get to probably my least favorite set piece in the game. Shrine of Amana. Oh boy. I must say the first two rooms of Shrine of Amana are not as bad as I was dreading they would be, but the last room is really bad. But actually, no, yes, sorry, right. The Looking Glass, how could I forget? The Looking Glass Knight, oh my gosh. Right, the Looking Glass Knight was actually a pretty decent boss fight. I think Looking Glass Knight, is it better than Duke's Freya? I don't know. But the atmosphere is great for Looking Glass Knight. Atmosphere is awesome. And the fact that he, like the freaking enemy breaks out of his shield to attack you, like that is awesome. It is a pretty good duel. Not as good as Smelter Demon but it's better than like Pursuer, I think. I think it's better than Pursuer. I don't know if it's better than Duke's Freya. They're pretty different fights, but I think it is better than like something like Pursuer. I did like that fight. Better than Old Dragon Slayer? Like Old Dragon Slayer, yes, but I also have to add on the Old Dragon Slayer. I feel like is more of a tutorial for humanoid bosses, so to speak. Then it serves a different purpose. It serves a purpose that Looking Glass Knight is not really serving. But yeah, I think it is like better fight mechanically, but that's because you have more tools to challenge him with. But anyway, Shrine of Amana. The first two rooms, not that bad. The last room can go to hell. Holy God, why did they put so many mages on this room? And you just have to sit there and spam them at range to just pick them off, and it is horrible. It is just so mind-numbing to get through this room, to slowly pick off all the enemies and possibly exhaust their spawn limits. Then there's the trollish Darkbead sorcerer that you have to fight in the middle of the water with Darkbead to one-shot you. Holy crap, this area is bad. The worst area in the game. And it's really not that close either. It's just not that. Just that last room is contention for worst area in the game if it was just that last room. But the first two rooms aren't that great either. They're manageable, but they're not that great. But God, that last room took me forever. Yeah, imagine if the frog boss was hard. Oh. Imagine if the frog boss was difficult. I beat it in 2 tries, but I was so fed up with it anyway. Imagine if the frog boss was hard. Thank God I had the bow to cheese that range. If I did not have bow for this last room, this probably would have taken me multiple streams to beat. I'm not even kidding. If I did not have the bow to just slowly whittle away the enemies in that last room, that room alone would have Shrine Model would have taken me multiple streams. This area is awful. Worst area in the game. I might not be saying I can't speak. I might not be saying that after Frigid Outskirts, but for right now, that's the worst area in the game. Then we get to Undead Crypt, which is pretty decent atmosphere-wise. I don't like how the enemies can ring the bells. Otherwise, I kind of like the bell mechanic. It makes sense, but I don't like how the enemies can ring the bells out of your peripherals. And suddenly there's freaking, 10 million sorcerers with swords trying to murder you. I don't like that. But the boss is decent. Never mind that it took me like an hour, but the boss is pretty decent. Velstad is pretty decent. It took me a while, but it was pretty decent. Yeah, big weapons get punished, yeah, too. True, but like, honestly, you don't really hit them the majority of the time. Freaking the enemies hit them, and suddenly you're screwed. All these keep. I like the ritual site. Yeah, I like it. The fact that you see, all these experiments and like, if you fight a dragon at the top and you head up to the dragon area afterward, I like it. Short area, but it was pretty nice. I mean, this is where you kind of just start like the end game, the final like gathering the boss gauntlet, whatever. So it's a nice introduction to the end game. Dragon area. Dragon area and Dragon Shrine are kind of just one and the same. We can lump both of them together. I get what they're trying to go for here. I do. And I like the way these areas look. But mechanically, they weren't really that great for me, mechanically, because you kind of just stick I skipped most of the area, yeah, true. But, there's a freaking, there's a zip line right there. You just use that, that's why I said I can just lump these two together. The club guys are pretty nasty, but the real worst thing about this area is the boss. The ancient dragon is bad, and the dragon riders just sitting there are even worse because they just swarm you. They do like half your health. They're pretty much mini bosses in a small as hell package, and they're everywhere. And they just swarm you. If you don't get past them in a very specific way, and because the entering the boss fog animation doesn't have iframes, if you don't get past them fast enough, they will just corner you and they will hit you out of you getting into the boss fog animation and you die. And that is really dumb to me. And then to say nothing about the ancient dragon himself, which is just run towards the tail or you insta-die. Doesn't matter if you have the ring of, red quartz ring +3, nope. You just get hit as you stand back up. Like, great boss. And he's a bullet sponge as well, because why not? And what do you get from beating him? Well, okay, you get like a boss weapon, which is pretty good. And you get like, Vendrick's defense getting reduced because you get, giant souls and everything. But like, come on. I'm not putting myself through that just for that. I wasn't putting myself through that. I had more important things to do, like freaking beating the freaking game. Alright, then we go back to Undead Crypt for Vendrick. I like the atmosphere of Vendrick. I can agree with atmosphere being great. The music is unsettling, and makes you feel like you really feel like you're defiling the grave. Like you're defiling the grave, even though you're kind of not. You're kind of putting him out of his misery more than anything. It really feels like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing at the same time. And Vendrick hits like a fucking truck, so you gotta be careful of him. And even if you figure out his blind spot like I did, he tries his best to awkwardly shuffle around and throw you off. So you still gotta keep on your toes and not get hit by his massive claymore. Stop testing your freaking car. I don't need to hear it. Thank you. Oh my god. Anyway, you still gotta not get hit by his massive claymore and die in one hit, because you very much might die in one hit. You heard that? What the hell? And then the final boss rush in Dragon Lake Castle. Despite the last stream was bad, not my best mental state, but the freaking Throne Defender and Throne whatever it's called. What it's called, Throne Defender and like I don't remember the other one, but Watcher, that's it. It started with a W and I didn't remember what it was. Throne Defender and Throne Watcher. I'm really getting Ornstein and Smoke vibes here, and I kinda like it. Honestly, this should have been like after. I don't know how they could do that, but if this went after the Chandra and Aldia, I don't know how they could have fit that in the story, but I really felt like fighting these two. I know it's probably not them, but I really felt like it was like the humanoid forms of the Chandra and Aldia before they became whatever they are. It might not be that. I might be thinking way too hard into this, but I felt like it was like their humanoid forms before they became like the grotesque things that they are. Like seriously, the Watcher seriously looks like Nashandra when we saw it in Dragon Lake Castle. Like, I have no idea if it's actually true, but I'd like to think it is. But this probably, like, I don't know how they could have made it work, but if this went afterwards, this could have been like the final fight, the final fight, and I would have been happy with it. Like, the fight is pretty nice. I like it. The fact that they can res each other, I learned it the hard way, but again, that's just another thing you need to keep track of. You have to keep track of their health and book it to kill the other one before they res each other. Because they do it at full health, because why not? So you gotta keep track of the movesets, their positioning, what their blind spots are, whether one is covering the other. I liked it, even though it took me way too long to get used to it and realize that I am going into this fight with not as much health as required. It took me way too long, I was way too stubborn, and it just didn't work and I got sick of it. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the fight. I just didn't have enough resources to punch through it, but mechanically it's a great fight. Then we get to Aldia. You didn't see me on Aldia, Quint, but I did it on the first try. Not Aldia, sorry, Nashandra. I did Nashandra the first try. I first tried Nashandra because it was, oh my god, you said it was the easiest fight in the easiest final boss in the franchise. I see what you mean now. This fight is really stupidly easy, like pathetically easy. All you do is run around and dodge her easy to dodge attacks while attacking her like black flames like once each. Then you wear on her for like a third of her health, rinse and repeat, until she dies. When she's like at a third of her health, she will start moving around, but that hardly throws a wrench in your strategy. She relies way too much on your curse orbs. Her laser is so easy to dodge. Her side swings you just run away from. Her laser can like pretty much never hit you as long as you're walking to the side. Not even running, walking. You can walk, I think, and you will dodge her laser. And it takes so long to start up. Her attacks are laughably easy to dodge. But I do like how, yeah, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's pretty easy, but at least it doesn't overstay its welcome. And I do like how she leverages the curse mechanic in a way that's like actually it can be threatening. It doesn't just curse you, it saps your health as long as those black flames are alive, as long as you're near her. So you do have to like kill them. You can't just like brute force in and ignore them. You do have to actually interact, which is good. Imagine if you could just leave her flames alive and just wail on her until she died. That would have been lame. But no, you have to deal with those curse orbs and interact with the fight. But she just needed more health and a bit more dangerous attacks of her own. Or maybe the curse orbs could have attacks of their own. Yeah, it would make the battlefield a lot more chaotic. But imagine if the curse orbs shot like projectiles or something. Like slow moving projectiles that you would have to bait or keep track of their positioning or whatever. Maybe they would like blink for a little bit before they shot the projectile or something like that. Something to keep you on your toes a bit more, instead of just a leisurely jaunt to each one of them to hit it like once. Some of them were over pits actually, which is funny. Like some of the curse orbs spawn like over a pit. I'm like glad I have the partisan to reach over there and hit it. But that was a funny interaction. But yeah, it was a pretty easy fight. But at least it's not like really annoying like some other final boss. But anyway, then we get to, oh yeah, the design. Oh, it's terrifying. Oh god. Yeah, it's kind of like overdone. Like, hey, it's a, beautiful exterior, but once you see her true colors as a master manipulator, she reveals that she's a grotesque demon the whole time. But it's pretty well done here, I would say. You saw all the way back in Drangleic Castle, so you understand that she manipulated King Vendrick like a fiddle. So, yeah, like, oh, this thing is, yeah, true. I mean, she is the daughter of Manus of the Abyss, so it makes sense. And then we get to the final boss of the main story, Aldia. Yes, it is basically turn-based combat, this fight, because if you try to hit him while the flames are up, it is like 80% damage reduction, you're not going to get anywhere, and you get hit. So, it's not worth it. You just hit him while the flames are down. It is basically turn-based combat. But it is turn-based combat in a way that it's structured, is designed for it. I think turn-based combat, when I call fights like turn-based combat, like in a derogatory way, I say that because the structure of the fight, they don't mean it like as turn-based combat. It's not like, Kirby's Computer Virus, where it's designed for, to fight this fight in a turn-based way. I mean that the systems of the fight and the boss's attacks force you into turn-based combat. It's like when you're fighting as Lance in Monster Hunter. It's not like, the bosses are like, you can hit them whenever you want, but the limitations of the boss or your limitations as the player force you into a way where you just block the boss attack and you counter, and then the boss attacks and you attack, rinse and repeat, turn-based combat, right? So, but this fight is designed around like turn-based combat. They designed it with that strategy in mind, and I kind of like it. Yes, it is fairly easy. His attacks are also fairly easy to dodge. The Orita attack that comes up from the ground might be a bit difficult if you get caught in the wrong place, but otherwise, His fire orbs attack, both the small ones and the giant one, are pretty easy to dodge as long as you're running laterally. The flame pillars can be a little bit random, but they mostly spawn close to him, so as long as you stay away from him, you're fine. And you might be thinking if you stay away from him, you don't get opportunities to attack, but your main opportunity is when he teleports anyway, so there's no real drawback to just sitting back and waiting for him to teleport. If there were other opportunities to hit him when he wasn't teleporting and leaving himself wide open, I think the fight would be a lot better. If you had to stay at least a mid-distance to him so that you had time to go in and hit him before he puts his flames back up, like between attacks, that's fine. But he is balanced well enough. If you don't dodge attacks, they do a lot of damage. So, I'm focusing on the negative a lot. This fight it's not a bad fight. I'd be remiss to say that. It is not a bad fight. It's a fairly decent final fight. It's a bit on the easy side, but honestly, I cannot complain because I think the real challenge of this final boss gauntlet is the Watcher and Defender, I feel. I think the Watcher and Defender is a great duo fight, and I think that is the main challenge of the boss gauntlet, and that is fine by me. I would prefer, well, not prefer, but I could see if the Watcher and Defender was put at the end, it might have been more satisfying, but you could do it either way and it works. What boss besides Ancient Dragon was the worst? That's a great question, actually. What boss was the worst? Good question. I'm trying to go through them. Iron King was pretty bad. Spectacle is great, but gameplay wise, it's pretty bad. I don't know if it's the worst though. Okay, you know what? This might be a hot take, but the worst boss, look, I know it's not on like the main route or anything, but the worst boss is the Rat Swarm. I know it's not in like the main path or anything, but it is a boss. Besides the Ancient Dragon, the Rat Swarm's the worst boss. Because all you do is you just kill a bunch of rats, they have one attack, and you just cleave through them like a scythe through hay if you have a sweeping weapon, or you just kill them one at a time and it takes forever. It does not do enough. It doesn't feel like a boss. It just feels like an enemy gauntlet, and it's bad. It just feels like an enemy gauntlet. It feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like one of those, yeah, it feels like one of those, like, enemy gauntlets in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, right? Where they put you in a place and you have to fight through a bunch of enemies. And once you do that, it goes, and it opens a chest or whatever. It feels like that, but it's worse because the enemies don't have variety. You're stuck on a flat plane. And it's just this, it's the same enemy. It's not like bokoblins that have like, archers or whatever, right? They might be perched on a thing and they shoot bomb arrows on like bombs below you or something. Like creative enemy and level design, none of that's here. You just carve through the rats and you beat the boss. Great. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Not worse than Ancient Dragon, but it's besides Ancient Dragon, I think it's the worst boss in the game. But yeah, overall, the game, I don't know how to compare it to Dark Souls 1. I know it's probably like nostalgia, not nostalgia, but like the first game itis, first game syndrome talking. But like Dark Souls 2 is much more consistent, I will give it that. There are very few areas that I actively hate in this game. Like, I think Shrine of Amana is the only area in the game so far, it's the only area in this game that I actively hate. Even the Gutter and Black Gulch, I can see what they were trying to do, and at least like Black Gulch's boss is decent. I mean, like, no, Black Gulch's boss is decent. But, like, Dark Souls 1, the Tomb of the Giants, oh my god, the Tomb of the Giants in Dark Souls 1 is pain and suffering. And the Gulch is also pretty short. Yeah, but Tomb of the Giants in Dark Souls 1 is just so bad, and the only redeeming quality about Tomb of the Giants is the Great Lord Nito, and that's not even like with Tomb of the Giants, it's just the boss. But yeah, Tomb of the Giants is just horrible. I don't know if Frigid Outskirts will be worse, and I kind of don't want to know, but we're going to find out, I guess. But like Dark Souls 1, Honor Londo vs. Drangleic Castle, that is a great question. Oh, that is a good question. I feel like, man, if I had to pick, I would probably I would still pick Anor Londo, just because it's like, yes, we had like Drangleic Castle, we probably had some build up to Drangleic Castle, but like Anor Londo, you kind of had that build up the whole like early game, and you finally get you have to fly there on a freaking crow first off, and yeah, you get there, you see its splendor, the whole like city. You fight across the city walls on rooftops, into the chapel itself. Peak boss at the end. Yes, it has the Anor Londo archers, but honestly, I feel like that's even a point in their favor because everyone remembers that. I feel like Anor Londo is an area that kind of just ties the gameplay of Dark Souls 1 together. It is a skill check in the pretty much the perfect location for a skill check area. So many iconic set pieces. The spiral tower that you have to change yourself. The Lao trick, yeah. There's so many memorable moments in Anor Londo. Not like Drangleic Castle doesn't, but I think like Anor Londo is I think it is the place that you kind of just always remember about Dark Souls 1. So, if I had to choose, both of them are great areas, but if I had to choose, I would probably pick Anor Londo over Drangleic Castle. Both of them have their iconic, set pieces and motifs and lighting. I really like the approach to Drangleic Castle, and also the rooftops, like the Bastilles where you where you see Nashandra for the first time, that set piece, and the run up. Those two set pieces are probably my favorite set pieces in the game so far. Not to mention, you go back here for the final boss gauntlet, so. But anyway, like Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is so much more consistent and like mechanically sound than Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 1 I think has areas, at least for me personally, has highs that beat out Dark Souls 2. Some of them. There's a few points in Dark Souls 1, namely the aforementioned Anor Londo, and maybe some of the Four Lords if you're into them. I wasn't, but maybe some of the Four Lords can catch your fancy more than the Four Lords here. Fave boss. It's a good toss up between Smelter and Looking Glass. It might be, honestly, it might be Looking Glass over Smelter. It's very hard to decide between the two, but I might be Looking Glass over Smelter actually. I know it's like a dual fight. It's another dual fight. We've had a bit of those already, but the set piece is so good, and the just man, an enemy coming out of a shield, and just the name Looking Glass. It makes so much sense. And it's just such a novel thing. I know it's just, oh, here's a reinforcement mechanically, but it's just such a novel thing the first time. Like, when I was refighting the guy, it never got old. And yeah, and it can be a real player. Like, how sick is that? It's terrifying, but it's sick. Like, that's such a cool concept to me. And just the atmosphere just sells it too. So honestly, it's very close. I'll mention that it's very close between Looking Glass and Smelter, but I think it's Looking Glass, honestly. Honestly, I think it is. And the fact that it's this hard to pick a favorite just goes to show the quality of most of the bosses in this game. Most of them. When it's bad, it's bad. But most of the bosses range from okay at worst to genuinely great. And again, consistency, right? Dark Souls 1 could have higher highs in regards to its areas. Like, you know, Ornstein's Smoke is fucking amazing. Ornstein's Smoke is probably my favorite boss in the series so far. None of the bosses in here probably compare to Ornstein's Smoke, but that could be partly because I had an entire arc with Ornstein's Smoke, but I digress. I really feel like ONS is such a well-designed fight. But, you know, I will take consistent any day outside of, like, you know, I will take consistency over this fight is great, but this fight fucking sucks. And it's like a win the whole time. Like, there are probably games where it's like the freaking quality of any area you go through is just like a crapshoot. I don't remember examples right now, but there are probably games like that where the quality is just a wild crapshoot as you go along, and you have no idea if the next area is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you, or if it's going to be just a cancerous cesspool. You love Lothric and Lorien if you loved ONS. Oh, and Dark Souls 3, huh? Alright. Well. Favorite of the original trilogy, huh? Yeah, well. That's something to look forward to, isn't it? Oh, it's not even that late either. Huh. Well, regardless. Thank you all very much for watching this playthrough up until this point. There have been, you know, many highs and lows with me playing this series, but, you know, regardless of if you tuned in for a portion of one episode or all the episodes, I appreciate you sticking around, whoever's watching this. And this is not over for Dark Souls 2. I will be doing the DLC as well. I've heard some horror stories about Frigid Outskirts, but if I got myself through this, then I was going to have to do it eventually. So I might grind a little bit more off stream just for better equipment because I heard that there was the Calamity Ring plus two that I kind of want to get, and like Ring of Blades plus two that I kind of want to get. So I might get those off screen before I start DLC, but that is a thing that is what we will do next before tackling Dark Souls 3. So there will be more Dark Souls 2 to come. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, you have a good night.